Hi, this is Jees. This is April 15th, 2020. It's a Wednesday. It was a very busy day for me. I have been juggling multiple stuff, and then there was a lot of going on in the world too. I'll bring the news, all of it. So I have decided to change the style of this recording into more of a compendium kind of stuff, wherein I wanted to chronologically record everything that I have been going through and also what is going around me in the world, instead of trying to give a update about everything. So mostly I just wanted to keep myself in the loop and then say that okay, this is what that has been going around in my life during this time. So that is a small change that I wanted to make. So mostly you will not even notice, but I think I wanted to make that big change. I'll start with my update. So I'm doing pretty good. I am mostly sitting at home, but today I had to go and visit one of my professors who was shifting his home. I was accompanied by him and two of his friends. Most of them were supposed to be self-isolating and then having a social distancing with each other. Obviously I had the mask and then tried to isolate myself from these people as much as possible. And I most likely am successful in that effort. But I came home and then, followed the daily routine of taking bath and then washing my hands and then to make sanitize, all the stuff that I have been using outside, and then keeping my dress for laundry and all that. So I think it was very, it was a good experience, but I think it was like very tiring at the end. So I had a couple of my research meetings and stuff going on, so I had a lot of things going on. I was like dead tired by the end of the day, but I'm good. So far I have not exposed anyone whom I know that there is COVID, but I'm like pretty happy that I am keeping myself steady and straight, and also happy and optimistic during this time. Great. Second, I talked to my parents. It was my dad's birthday today, so I talked to him and then he was really happy, but really he's not so happy being at home on his birthday. He used to go around and then meet other people and all that, but he's not able to do that currently due to the lockdown. But I think we reassured, and then he also understands that this will pass, and then he should be able to move freely as he wish pretty soon, or when it ends, really when it we really don't know, but I think hopefully it will end really soon. So they are doing pretty good. Their health wise they are doing great. They are isolating themselves at home. They have all the requirements met at home. That's like really excellent. Talking to my brother, sister-in-law and kids, they are doing great. They are also isolating themselves. They are talking to most of the people over the phone. They are isolating themselves and then carrying out their daily affairs at home. That's great. Talking about my friends, all my friends are doing great. One of the other things that we tried to do today was to order some food for my roommate. It was order was placed twice in two separate restaurants through the app called Flavor. Both the time somebody took the order, there was a runner, but at the last point we have seen that the order was cancelled due to multiple reasons, but we do not know what's going on. That's really surprising. We tried twice, both of them failed, which is already pointing to one factor, that people are having the number of people who are putting the request is really high maybe, and this is taking us pressure on the system, and I'll detail about all the things that I have talked about in the expanded session towards the end. For myself, all right. So this is, I think I'll give the numbers right now. Total number of cases crossed 2 million. It is 2.08 million at the moment. Number of new cases today, it is really high. 84,515 new cases were recorded all around the world. Total deaths is 134,616 people all across the globe. 7,960 people died just today. Total recoveries is 510,000 people. Active cases are 1.43 million people. Our critical states is in 51,160. That number was 51,600 and odd number. We are seeing a decrement of 500 number in the total critical care. that we hope that most of the people, some of the people at least, have recovered completely and gone home, or at least are staying safe in their hospitals. That's only the hope that we have. Next, the total cases by country. USA has 644,000 people who are infected in total. 28,529 people got infected today, at least tested positive today. That trend is going up, but the rate is constant, so it is just a small inflection that we are seeing in the data. Spain, 180,000 people, so total 6,599 people tested positive today. That number is slightly up than from yesterday. Italy, 165,001 people were infected in total. 2,667 people tested positive today. That number is going down for a long time. It is in a downward tick. France, 147,000 people were infected. 4,560 were infected today. France numbers are really all over the place, but today it is going down. That's what the news that we have. Germany, 134,000 people, 2,548 people were infected, or at least tested positive today. That is a good news. But the number is still going up, but there are like some effective means of preventing this infection. That's like great from the Germany side. Total deaths, which is the depressing part of the video, was like total deaths by country. United States has the highest death toll so far. 28,529 people died of COVID after the outbreak. 2,482 people died today. That is by far the largest number that I have seen for United States. It's really depressing, but I think it is going down really soon in a couple of days. Italy, 21,645 deaths so far, 578 deaths today. That number is going down, but we have not seen that number going beyond 400 for a long time. That is really saddening from Italy. Spain, 18,812, 559 people died today. That number is going up from what we have from yesterday. France, 17,167 people died, 1,538 people died today. UK, 12,868, 761 people died today. That number is slightly lesser than the number that we have from yesterday. So there's a lot of deaths going on. So United States possibly has seen the peak. We believe the different states are seeing their peaks. That's why we are seeing this high numbers. The rate is not going up. There are a lot of places where there is a lot of active hotspot, but I think the infection per se, because of the distancing measures and people using these masks, the infection rate is slightly reducing. That's what the data says. So then I'll just go into the details about there are a lot of positive news coming out in this in the middle of all these things. In Germany, one of the important aspects, so Germany is planning to reopen its small businesses in April 20th. That's like really 5 days from now. And it is going to bring back its school system on May 4th. May 4th, because May 3rd is when their officials, the social distancing, effective high intensity social distancing measures are coming to a close end. So May 4th you will have classes starting. But the big events, any of the big events with a lot of people who are involved, that is going to go beyond August 31st. All the religious institutions are supposed to be holding their meetings until further pronouncements from the government. So they're trying to ensure that there are not a lot of people who are crowding. They wanted to make sure that all those people who are in small groups are equally manageable, and then maybe contact traceable. That's one of the things that it's not directly related, contact tracing, but if it's a small group, you can essentially find out the number of people. That may be one of the solid aims that they have. So large crowd events are prohibited until August 31st. Some other great news is that I wanted to see is that there is a Second World War veteran from Britain. On his 99th, he's 99 years old. For his 100th birthday, he said, "I will walk," and then during that walk, I'll just generate some charity. Just make it a charity event, and I'll generate some revenue, and I'll contribute to the NIH. So his initial aim So he has raised $9 million for NIH. The surprising thing is that his aim was to start and end this fundraiser for just $1,250. So that has been shifted big time to $9 million. That's like great. His name is Tom Moore. Thanks to Tom Moore for both fighting the Second World War and for raising $9 million. Third news is from Texas. I think there is from Arlington in my city. There is one person who is cured of coronavirus, and he has donated successfully his plasma for treatment and research. That's good news. Texas governor, along with Goldman, Sachs, and a LiftFund, has raised almost $50 million for small businesses to survive in this tough time. It's a great news coming up from all across the world. One of the other things that we are seeing is the disturbance in the purchasing patterns that people have. Usually people buy a lot of stuff related to automotives, gaming, and clothes, merchandise, food, furniture, and all those things. But now we are seeing a 25% increase in the food and the beverages, and there is a 4% hike in the medical equipments and then associated stuff. But I think that 4% is far too lesser. People are not getting a lot of things. That is the reason why they're not buying. Maybe I think otherwise that it is really hard. And one of the other things that I promised to talk to you about was the trouble in the delivery system. A lot of apps, including Shipped from Target, Peapod, Amazon Prime, and Instacart, all of them are having delays, at least in some of the places, especially in places where there is maximum hit, like New York. People are unable to deliver these days. They are running a backlog. Their system needs to be redesigned. They are planning to do a lot of hiring, full-time and part-time, in order to alleviate all this trouble. I think, but this is a problem that we have to be prepared for in future. If there's a pandemic, how are we going to deliver all this stuff? How are we going to have a solid backend in order to serve all these people with essential commodities? So I think that's all questions that we have open in front for anything that is going to happen in future. So I think this is one of the important times that we can start thinking about all these problems. But I think we will have a better day tomorrow, and I'm stopping this video for a recording tomorrow, April the 16th. So that's the basic recording that I have. So see you tomorrow.